What does that mean to have a federal regulation and say you can't talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion? And that is really challenging given the time of a racial justice uprising in a nation that is already divided.
Right.
And so how do we as people reconcile and heal when so many people are fighting for equity, fighting for justice, wanting that, and people of all races and religions and cultures? It's not one-sided. It's not a political issue, it's a humanity issue, right?
Right.
So it's really tragic, to be honest.
It feels a lot like censorship,
Yeah,
right? Because the mandate was to end all teaching about critical race theory and white privilege. That's a body of scholarship. That's a body of research that's been evolving for decades. It's like saying we're not going to teach the Civil War anymore.
Censorship is anti-American.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the idea that you would
Right.
not be able to talk about something
Right.
is just
Right. And to talk about it from the standpoint of learning and engagement, and that makes no sense, and yet it makes all kinds of sense in the context in which we're operating right now, because it feels threatening to recognize that there's something bigger here than just the interpersonal dynamic that we're having, right? That it is about system, and it is about history and about structure, and we're all part of it. And it won't go away just because we don't talk about it.
Well,
Right.
I always say you never know how much your past will affect your future till it shows up in your present.
Right, exactly.
And then you're creating a generation of people
Right.
that won't know history, that won't be allowed to talk about it. It's almost as if we're in a communist country in a way.
Yeah.
Where you
Right.
get filtered what kind of learning and education, what kind of books you read, all those kinds of
Right.
things.
And what's
So what's
considered
next?
And what's considered patriotic?
What's next?
Right.